listen to your inspirational
Yeah,
message.
thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Joyce, for that very, appreciative introduction. I would like to express also my thanks and gratitude to the officers of this prestigious global professional advancement um, endeavor or activity. Uh, you're really being saluted by the world for your success and other improvements in terms of the hospitality and tourism industries. Thank you. Your theme, Fortifying New Mindset, Creating New Mileage, is really a very appropriate theme for this era of the pandemic. I would like to tell you, yes, we always look at the pandemic, COVID, as something that is negative. It brought us a lot of anxiety, some disturbances in our work, some lost their jobs. But I would like to say that we have to take this positively, my dear friends. COVID, as I always say when I introduce my speech, is to be taken in good mood. Like, shall we say, C is being compassionate, O is being, obedient to rules and regulations, especially that of the IATF and other health protocols. V, as your organization depicts, is versatility. You're always resilient, no? There are ups and downs of the organizations, but you're still there, rising up. And I, inspiration. Let's be an inspiration to our neighbors, to our countrymen, no? To our colleagues, especially the students, no? Be inspired by this situation because you are learning more than what you had been used to in the old normal. And letter D, yes, the duties that we have to remember. We have to be duty bound. No, I really congratulate this organization of yours, no, in the hospitality and tourism industry, because despite this COVID, no, you have always been dutiful. You have always been true to your vision, mission, goals, and objectives. And we never miss you, especially in this time where we do a lot of flexible learning and teaching. I really love you as partners in the academe. Also, I take it as an honor and a great privilege talaga to have been invited as your inspirational keynote speaker. Though so many times I have been always inspired, no, by your, as I have said, your prestigious organization, especially in you coming up with this global professional advancement, which really is a venue for all of us, no, to get reoriented, updated of the tourism and hospitality industries. I came to understand actually this hospitality and tourism thing when I encountered most of you, especially the experts and the technical panel members of CHED, no? In the persons of Dr. Ignacio Cordova Jr., Dr. Danilo Reyes, Dr. Vicky Nanyagas, Dr. Cristina Aquino, Dr. Ben-Hur Ong, Dr. Gloria Bakensi, and many more. Because if I have to mention all, I might be getting, an hour to stay with you. I know your time is so precious. So in my encounters with them, I would say, yeah, I came to know that hospitality industry is generally referred to as a broad category of the industrial field, which delivers its services to customers or guests It includes accommodation, reservation, food and beverage service and production, event planning, and so many others. See, I educated myself through listening, no, from your so many webinars. I've been enriched, so I can say something, no, to the HRM and the tourism, program offerings of the HEIs in NCR. On the other hand, no, the word tourist means someone who travels for pleasure. No, especially when you go to my hometown, Baguio, you go to my, my mother's place in Sagada, the Bontoc land, no, and so many things. Especially when you go up north, also in the Kalingas, where you can see the Sleeping Beauty in the mountains, no. Those are the things that we really have to enjoy while we are still living. No, and it's being made possible because of your professors, because of these leaders who are always updating us on what should be done, no, to improve our country's tourism and hospitality industry, so we can attract more dollars, no, so we can be at par, no, with the Western world. And I could see that we are really, really rising up. Okay, so here we can infer that tourism industry is likely the vast establishment that covers all the trade, the arrangement, and tourist and recreational destinations. I really never thought that, your work there in these industries are really so detailed and you're so meticulous, so that you will have these people who are traveling be really, really comfortable. Oh, for those who work for any tourism industry, they may also share similar knowledge regarding hospitality or even perform crucial roles as those of the hospitality industry. Kaya sa akin, I am really heard up, no? In comparing these two. I think it's really impossible not to differentiate between these two industries as they frequently merge. No, why are these industries important? I also learned that for hospitality, we know that it generates revenue for local economies directly when tourists spend money in hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues. No? Ganon. Kaya pala, maski COVID, nag-open ang mayor ko sa Baguio, no, to attract again more tourists to come up because they bring their money to the city. Okay? Tourism can stimulate building of infrastructure such as roads and public transportation. Yes. You know why we were able to have good roads in the Halsima Road connecting Baguio and the mountain provinces? It is because of our tourism. And you were contributory to that because of these programs that you oversee. Okay? Yeah. And more than this, these industries have always been creating more jobs for our people. Okay, so, if I'm going to ask me what will I do after retirement, I think I would not be traveling a lot. I would like to establish also something where people could go and where people could be entertained, not of the usual ones, but those which are really native and unique. Okay, so I would like to establish a living cultural museum in an eco park, in a forest land, in the Cordillera, where I will focus on what is native, what is pristine, what is genuine, to showcase the transformation of people from the past to the modern times. So I will be connecting what you are doing now, but we cannot forget the past so that people can understand our history better. As you can see now, no, foreigners are already tired of the modern, sophisticated living. Not only foreigners, we also who grew up in the cities would like to go back to the basics, like trying to experience living in nipa huts, swimming in natural rivers, not swimming in artificial pools. No? Searching for the native or indigenous food in the hinterlands. And I like really most of your graduates, no? And most of you who have created the curriculum for our, tourism and industry, tourism and hospitality industry programs, because they always included the indigenous part of the cooking, no? Going into the mountains and hiking some distance to try the natural tattoo or seeking young old in Kalinga, no, for art's sake, and having, most of the young ones have their prenups in the wilderness or maybe in the mountains or maybe near the beaches, etc. Also, again, I would say investing maybe something on agri-parks, agri-tourism would also attract more tourists where you can invite them to gather fruits, no, from the trees, like gathering grapes, gathering strawberries. We will have more of this. We gather vegetables, or we bait fish, or maybe we hunt native pigs and other animals, and having it be cooked in different delicacies. No? My dear friends, we really have to go back and enjoy the beauty of nature. I also have thought of a traditional wedding where you can get the native priest and celebrate with a beating of the gongs, where dancing is really done with the, gusto. That's why to go into these kinds of business and entertainments, we really have to teach our students the traditional dances, the traditional delicacies, and more importantly, is for them to know the history of the people and the place, which I know you always included in your teaching of these programs. Otherwise, they will be slighting the inhabitants, no, without their intention, due to the ignorance of the people's history, of their taste, and of their language. It might cause troubles later, like what happened to the portrayal of the Igorots in the bad light in the recent learning modules of the DepEd, which was also, greatly complained of. So my friends, what I'm saying is, let us do something to build tourism and hospitality to greater heights. Let us make a twist. Let us be innovative and uncover the beauties of the Filipinos. So by them and only them can we say and can we sell, no, the fantastic, amazing Philippines. But there is always fun in the Philippines, no? So we can sell this to tourists, especially after this pandemic. And my friends, I know you have a lot of activities, yet let me end by quoting the words in the book of Genesis from the Bible. Chapter 1, verse 28 and 29. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it." This is not to say we have to go and multiply. It's not multiplying just the population, but multiplying the talents and the learnings that you have, so that we will spread what is good. Then God said in verse 29, "I give you every seed bearing fruit plant, and every tree has fruit with seed in it. They will be your food." My friends, my fellow educators, and the officials of these industries that we mentioned, let us share our fruits and blessings to others with hope. And when I say hope, H-O-P-E, Let us make it a point that we help one person each day. That is hope. HOPE, help one person each day. Mabuhay ang tourism and hospitality group. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay tayong lahat. God bless and please keep safe, be healthy. I love you all. Thank you po.